Hello everybody, I'm Wen Zhengyun Zhuang from National Kaohsiung University of Science and Technology. Today for IEEE ICEIB 2025, I would like to present the topic, the factors of gender inequity in employment in the AEC industry in Taiwan. Report reflexive evidences from a survey. I take this photo video, in order to show my face because YouTube said I need to show face and make video posts more frequently to unlock some limited access to my YouTube account, YouTube channel. So after this, I will turn off the photo video because it will simply obscure the content of my presentation. Okay, thank you. And another author, Professor Pan, is also from the same university. In almost all East Asian countries, female is a relatively smaller group in the AEC industry, which means architecture, engineering, and construction. This group of people is the focus of our study, and this is the agenda of this presentation. This is what we have done in this study. In one sentence, our study uses the data taken from a large-scale survey to reveal the facts for and analyze the factors behind the current situations of gender inequity in employment in the AEC industry, subject to the East Asian culture in Taiwan. While we want to study the facts for gender inequity in employment, or GIE, in the AEC industry in East Asia, and the factors for the women employees' labor participation, we launched a large-scale sample survey in Taiwan. During the investigation stage, the total size of the effective sample was guaranteed to exceed 1,067, which is the sample size that an island-wide political polling will have at the very least. A key point of this study is that it was a multi-channel survey, and we used many electronic channels like messenger, web, and email due to the epidemic lockdown. For the messenger channel, Line is the most popular messenger tool used in Taiwan. A key point of this survey is that during the survey, we intentionally partitioned the respondents' types into 4 groups. For sure, we keep only the effective sample of 1,349 respondents, and the later analysis will be focused on the opinions of the female workers sample. At first, we can have a chart to check how many respondents are sampled from each channel for each group. And this is the table information for the former charts. Here, we use many descriptive analysis to show the direct results from the survey, and we call these a spectrum analysis here because we want to display the distribution of the answers made to each question. The term spectrum analysis means another thing in physics, you know. We polled many items for the respondent profile, the positive and negative reasons for women's labor participation, and 2 other mental factors of interest. These correspond to blocks of questions inside the questionnaire. Questions designed for the basic profiles of respondents are all multiple choice questions, which means only one answer can be ticked. One interesting finding is that more than 62% of female workers' current occupations in the industry are normal office staffs or about health and safety. The distribution of age sections of the female sample will concur with a public OSF report later. Here, OSF means Open Society Foundation, and it seems almost 3/4 of them are raising no or two children, and relatively less of them are raising one or three. Raising no children does not necessarily mean a respondent is not married, but a frequent observation in East Asian culture is that companies tend to hire female employees who are single. The wages of women employees will be also discussed later, but it will also meet the situation in other reports. Here, another workplace question allowed multiple ticks. The polling also included the majors and the functional roles of female respondents. These will be discussed later. And these are down for the 10 positive reasons which women employees may think to drive female labor participation rate, or FLPR. These are down for the 14 negative reasons to depress females' labor participation rate, or FLPR. This is the result for the 7 sources of women employees' self-esteem. This is the result for the 6 types of companions who are currently working with the women employees in the industry. We can give a short summary for the focuses of the whole spectrum analysis here we have made. And these focuses, in fact, correspond to the former 3 blocks of questions in the questionnaire. From now on, we start to compare our results with the facts and what are told in those credible reports. We have multiple sources of those credible reports, and by comparing our results with these reports, we can dissect the factors behind the facts, and we can use the results to validate the facts. See the first figure. The increase in total FLPR in Taiwan has slowed in recent years. See the second figure. For all age sections between 25 and 54, the FLPR increased every 10 years. Outside this middle range, it depends. For 25 to 29, the FLPR in Taiwan is higher than the rate in the US or other Northeast countries such as Japan or Korea. In contrast, for the age sections over 50, the FLPR in Taiwan is usually lower than US, Japan, or Korea. We are interested in the situation in 2027. When we see the AEC or CCE industry among all science engineering industries in Taiwan, it is only ranked 3rd to last. People also call the science engineering industry as STEM industries. And when we further check the occupational levels that the female workers are employed, the so-called leaky pipeline effect of them is obvious in this industry. The FLPR rapidly decreases with increasing occupational level. This is the situation for E and C of AEC. The situation for A is identical. See the second chart in the lower figure. And there are also formal government statistics detailing the labor participations and the gap in wage between genders. In Taiwan, by reading the relative LPR measure, the gap between men's and women's labor participations had been narrowed down year by year before it came to this decade, but it is still obvious, perhaps because of the imbalance in the engineering and science or STEM industries. The wage gap between gender has only been improved by a little in the last 2 decades before entering this decade. This is also salient when the wage gap is converted into how many days a woman should work more than men to get the same pay. However, these additional data sets are only available for the entire population in Taiwan. No data is offered individually for the certain industries such as AEC. Now from the results we can start to discuss some further findings. So far there are so many things for us to observe, but the findings and insights can be classified into 3 categories according to the featured topics concerned by the traditional fields of human resource or the gender topics, or according to many questions which will be frequently asked by the practitioner or researchers in the industry. Here we just give some examples. The finding number 1, which we write here, is about a type 3 observation. It is found that almost all negative factors may depress FLPR, but not all positive factors can drive FLPR. Finding number 2, which can we see here, is a type 1 observation. It is found that the negative factors for FLPR are more pronounced than positive ones, because all first half negative factors have received more votes than the top positive factor. These 2 findings means that in practice, eliminating and removing the negative factors for FLPR should be a better policy to stimulate the woman group for their willingness to work for the AEC industry. Finding 3 is a type 3 observation. It's found that many current female workers in the industry joined this industry because of some chance. In other words, many of them treat the job as a stepping stone. This attitude has been reflected to many other observations. For example, the relatively low wage of female labor participants and their functional roles in the institution are management-oriented, and administration and business are the main management roles of them, rather than site management. The finding 4 is a type 2 observation. The low wage situation of female workers stated in finding 3 is a fact that is also investigated by our survey. The average pay for a female worker was about NT dollar 40,000 a month after year 2020. Plus the possible bonus, the annual pay is under 17,000 USD in average. However, this is far below the GDP per capita, which is about 25,000 USD in those years in Taiwan. This links to the report that a female worker must work more than 50 days a year to have the same pay with male. The last finding here is once again type 2. Women do have fewer agentic roles in AEC institutions because from the survey, most of them are office staffs, and most of the places or environments they work are indoor. This concurs with the existing theories or claims made in the literature in other countries. Due to the space and time reason here, these are just 5 exploratory analysis examples. Just see the classification page. There are more exploratory analysis to be made, and we can add more items for each category. And until now, we haven't touched the part of data investigated for improvement initiatives. This is another virgin island for further exploration. Conclusion. We organized and presented the results of a survey conducted for GIE in the AEC industry in Taiwan. We made several interesting exploratory analysis and justified a set of knowledge based on survey data. We also linked the findings with the claims or facts revealed in the existing reports. Except for the works so far, we can continue to deeper studies about the 2 featured topics, or studies to answer those questions. For example, does the major of female workers matter? Does the leaky pipeline effect really exist? Is it suitable to hire female workers from connection or not? And do women always play non-agentic roles in the AEC industry? Do the mental factors asked during the survey mean anything for other observables in the survey or in other known reports? And except for a similar spectrum analysis can be made for the respondent answers about the improvement measures, some parametric or non-parametric tests in inferential statistics can be introduced to analyze the group opinions of those improvement measures. And that's my presentation today. Thank you for your patience today. This is Wen McGuire, Zheng Yunzhuang from National Kaohsiung University of Science and Technology. Thank you so much.